Hello, and welcome back. Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Slept in a little. Don't have an alarm on Saturday or Sunday. Mother-in-law's not coming in town, so I'm not going to be doing any far driving. Actually, I probably won't be doing much of it any today. If I go anywhere local, I don't know. Which that's kind of good because I really don't like going to a whole bunch of thrift stores that are far out on a weekend because there tends to be more people in them, which then slows me down. And when I'm already driving 45 minutes to almost an hour out, depending which far route I'm taking, and then going in anywhere from 6 to 8 stores, if I could otherwise be there for half an hour and there's people coming and going and getting right in your way or whichever, it could slow you down or slow me down. And I want to be able to be back at certain times. So that at least saves on that. I am pre-washing the dishwasher. So I take everything out, take out the bottom trap and all that, put all that on the top rack, let the top spinner get there, and then put everything else on that top rack, that all the different parts, and let that wash on extra hot. Get a lot of that gunk out of there, and then I will the put all that back together, and then put the sunglasses and frames on the top and wash everything on a low heat or the lowest heat. My dishwasher doesn't have a no heat wash, so it's either really hot, medium, or low. And then dry it on no heat dry, just let it come naturally dry. And then I will take my microfiber and kind of clean the lenses up a little bit. But when this washing is done, then I will put the frames and stuff and I'll wash that. So all that'll be done probably around noon. Get the pictures and I'll be done with all that listing, probably 3 or 4. So there is a fun part of what today is, what today isn't going to be for me going out and about, and what today now changed to be. It is a sales video. Let's find out what's sold. This Robin and Mary Ann soundtrack score. I think it's just a score. Yeah, John Barry, who does a lot of scores and soundtracks. I don't know if they're really soundtracks, but for different movies of all variations throughout the decades. 38. The Simple Life, season 3. I guess it's called Interns and which have you. 14. This is the last one I have of this. Sewing pattern for $8. So why 8? Well, it's still listed, and even after shipping, even it being I want to say it's going to be $4.80 to ship because it's going to California or Washington, one of the two. It's 99 zip code. Even after that, 99 might even be Hawaii. Even after that, even if it's 5, I still make maybe $1 on it. It was still listed, and it's gone somewhere. All right, so I can earn a feedback or whichever it may be, another sale that goes on the tally, and it gets put to use as opposed to me when I finally get a arts and crafts and things like this type lot together, where I'm probably only going to average maybe 10 cents, right? So it's gone. A thing of Oneida, it's called Arbor, National Arbor or something like that, flatware. I don't think that there's even a date stamp on it. If there is, I cropped it out for that picture. I haven't really dealt in flatware in a long time. I used to sell a lot of it. Matter of fact, my store link that's in this YouTube channel is called Flatware Fanatic, and I used to sell a ton of flatware. And it is one of those to where when you start to become more familiar with the brands that are out there and patterns, you could typically get like a bag of 20 or 30 or 40 pieces of flatware for $2, $3, $4, $5, right? So you can get it really cheap, and a lot of them can be really, really expensive. There's some Oneida, let's just say, what is it, like Michelangelo. A lot of that Michelangelo, especially the ones with the gold accent, are probably $30, $40, $50 for a spoon, for one spoon. Same thing for probably a salad fork. Salad forks tend to be more than all the other types of pieces for the most part of all. Some Yamazaki, some Dansk, some Gents. There's all Supreme Towel, Towle or Towel, Supreme. There's all kinds of. As a matter of fact, been selling flatware so long that I got this. This is probably my third copy of this. And this is made, I think this was printed in the 90s, 1998. So I started selling flatware probably in the early 2000s. This is Totality of Pattern Identification, almost 800 pages. So when you get flatware, you look at the stamp on the back, and you go in here and you find the brand, whatever it may be. Some of them are going to be very where you have to go to the index right here. So there's a pattern index, and then there should be a brand index somewhere, a cross-reference brand. And you go in and you match it up. Make sure that you match up exactly, because there's going to be some. So let's say I go back to the Michelangelo, and then there's going to be something that's called Brahms. And Brahms looks a lot like Michelangelo. Now, those two may not be the exact ones that look alike, but there are some that look a lot alike. So you have to make sure that you get the right one, and there are some very... So just an example, we kind of see these curls. There are some that do look a lot alike, and so you have other ones right here, like Yankee Clipper Independence. And there should be another one in here called Boston, Colonial Boston, or SSS. So I used to sell a lot of flatware. I just don't anymore. It's still readily available. It can sell really well. You can have some really good patterns that just come up out of nowhere. You're like, oh man, that's like $500 for that set of 50. Or you could sell just salad forks for 15, 20 bucks each. However, being that they're metal, you don't have too much to worry about, but knives don't easily fit in most commonly sized packages. Packaging, like a box or an envelope, it's either going to be, the box is going to be this big and the knife is like that, or which have you. And then you got the situation with the forks, which have the tines on them, which like to be pokey, and they like to poke out of packaging. So you have to do extra packaging to make sure it doesn't poke out. Because if it pokes out, especially out of an envelope, it can go all the way through, and the next thing you know, you have a package with no forks in it, and somebody gets a package that doesn't have any forks in it, and you're refunding 50 bucks. There are steps that you could do to inhibit that from happening. I don't know why this is becoming a plug to sell flatware, but either way. So it is a great thing. So I guess I'm just kind of giving all my little, not all, but a bunch of my experience that I have on flatware and right here, right now. It is great. It's inexpensive. I mean, most places you're going to get these things for 20 cents, 25 cents a piece. I would recommend getting that book. Now, you can go to replacements.com on their website, and it's just not as easy to go through to find what you need, especially if what you're trying to find isn't coming up on the first 2 pages, and then you have to really start drilling it down. And that could take 20 minutes to find one pattern, because it's not in the book. Not all patterns made at 1998 when this book was printed are in that book, right? So some are going to be very tricky. Either way, I recommend getting the book. I do believe it's still sold. I have mine. At some point, I'll probably post it up. I won't make much on it because it's probably like a 5-pound book. And they're only maybe like 20 bucks anyhow. So the American Harmony is what I want to say the pattern. I mean, I have it right here, but it has a little beaded texture and a raised handle. But the flatware does have its definite size, so that's one of those. It's a very, very high ROI, very, very low cost, very high ROI. But when 3, 4 years ago, before I really got into media, I probably had 1,000+ listings of different flatware patterns. I should say probably 400 different patterns, right? And I'm selling either in the complete lot, or I'm putting 20 together to make 4 place settings of 5. There's so many variations that you can make for it. The sales just started to go way down, way down. It used to be, I mean, a long time, 20 years ago, when I lived in North Hill, and I've mentioned North Hill a couple times, that area where Dr. Bob's house is, and then I was born at the hospital right there. But when we lived there, I used to go to a secondhand store, and he used to buy flats from someone who worked at Oneida in Olean, New York. And he would go to, these are like Oneida rejects because they had like a couple scuffs on them. And he would come in with a pallet, or one of these whole trays, and these trays had, I think, had like either 400 or 600 forks on it, and all they were was just dinner forks. And one day, I was like, I go in there, and he has all these different patterns, and this is 20 years ago, and he has all these different patterns, and I'm talking to him. His name's Paul, and he goes, "Well, I have all kinds of other different stuff downstairs." So what he meant by that, what I didn't know then until I went down there, is he had shelves filled with maybe each column, up and down column, probably had 20 flats, and it was maybe 40 flats across. And there were all kinds of different patterns, all kinds. And one of them was the Oneida Boston Colonial Boston, the SSS one, MediaMan, that's what it's called. And another one that I remember is called Midnight. And so that was a real, I go get one of these beefy bodybuilders, and they struggle to bend it. And some of them had a gold accent around the ring, and those were like $40 a fork. I was getting these things for 25 cents, right? So enough story about plugging flatware. If you can find it, and if you're looking for inexpensive stuff to sell, flatware is one of them. No, sirens. Anyhow, so that whole American Harmony Arbor, $45 for 47 pieces, right? So it's finally gone. All right. Adrift DVD, 14. Blue Lagoon DVD, 22. Marzolino DVD, 19. Babylon 5 DVD. Actually, it's something Legends of the Rangers, 14. Someone came in and got both these. Fiona Apple, 38. The Cranberries, 18. Going to one buyer. And this New Gods is going to Australia. $40 is what they paid, and then all their VATs and stuff. So that's 309 total, 271 product cost received for the sales for over the day. So to wrap all that up, not going anywhere. Cleaning my dishwasher so I can wash the glasses, so I can get those listed. Flatware is a great ROI kind of slow seller. It'll start picking up now. This is Not quite now. And in September, going into October is flatware buying season to get prepared for November, December. And then January is because people, as they're putting all their stuff away, kind of realizing, looking at things, and like, oh, I'm missing two forks, what have you. So then they'll start buying for stuff that, ended up missing. People put it in their pocket, it gets thrown away, whichever. It's still a great thing to have, but if I'm just thinking that I have, let's just say that I have 2,000 media things. If I had 2,000 listings of flatware, I would probably send out 20 a week orders. Physical media, I'm sending out anywhere from 60 to 80, 100 plus on a really good week, right? So it just goes so much faster, and it's worth more, and it's a lot easier to package. All right. Got that all done and recapped, and I could probably keep this within 15 minutes. So, like what you heard, like what you saw, like what you learned, a whole lot to learn about flatware. Let me think of going up. Let me know what you think about any of what I said in this video below, or in another video, I suppose. In a comment, subscribe, share. They all help. Everything helps. Appreciate it.